Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, we're back on this narrative because this is a particular storyline that we're going to follow to the bitter end on this channel. So we're back on this narrative, and the narrative is INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, Atiku Abubakar, Malam Buhari, and rigged elections, and of course INEC servers. So we're back on the INEC server narrative again because this is a story that continues to evolve, and there are new developments coming out, and as those developments come out, we keep you updated. So here's the latest, and here's the headline: server controversy, several INEC staff say results transmitted to central server. So that's the headline. Server controversy, several INEC staff say results transmitted to central server. So now let's get into the body of the story. Several officials said they were deployed as electoral officers by the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC for the 2019 presidential election, and said they transmitted results electronically to a central server through smart card readers. This, they said, was done in compliance with the directive given by the Commission during a 3-day training before the polls. The 20 officials deployed to various states, who mostly worked as presiding officers, said they were told that there was a central server in Abuja where results are collated electronically. It is not immediately clear on which central server the officials admitted to transmitting results, but this has added a new twist to the ongoing confusion trailing INEC's consistent denial that it used no server for the election. A manual issued to the electoral officers by INEC for the 2019 election revealed that the communicate icon on the smart card reader should be used to transmit the accreditation data to the central server. Another handbook for the election officials in 2018 was, however, more precise on how presiding officers should use the card readers for electronic collation and transmission of results. It is said that it became necessary to apply technology to transmit data and results from the polling unit due to irregularities that take place after the voting process. After successfully filing the EC8A result, so after successfully filing the EC8A result sheet and announcing the result, the presiding officer shall tap the e-collation application on the home screen. A part of the handbook reads. So now here's the backstory to all this. Let's just get to that. So the backstory: the runner-up in the February presidential election, Atiku Abubakar and his People's Democratic Party (PDP) are challenging the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari at the Electoral Tribunal. Determining whether the commission operated a central computer database that received election results has become central to the dispute after Mr. Abubakar said results obtained from the server proved he won the election by 1.6 million votes to defeat Mr. Buhari, but INEC has strongly denied the claim, saying it neither transmitted results electronically nor saved them on any server. It said such activities were not permitted by the electoral law yet. The commission also accused Mr. Abubakar of circulating fake results. So here now are the contradictions inherent in this storyline. So contradictions: Following the controversy over the veracity of INEC's position on not using a central database, this correspondent randomly interviewed about 20 electoral officers who worked at various states during the election. Whilst most of them admitted to sending results electronically using the internet-enabled smart card reader as directed, the rest said they only sent the results of accredited voters and rejected votes to the central server. Some of the officials who requested to speak anonymously for fear of victimization said they were instructed to turn in the card readers after sending the results. INEC asked us to paste the result sheet and also send them electronically through the card reader. A serving corps member who worked as an ad hoc staff at Ido local government area of Oyo State said the results, as we were told, were sent into a central server in Abuja. The results can't be more than accredited voters on the card reader. It will reject it. You can't submit your card reader without posting the results. Benga Oladayo, an assistant presiding officer APO at Ipetumodu area of Osun State, described INEC's denial as contrived. They told us that there is a server that automatically records the number of accredited voters, cancelled votes, and rejected voters. The APO2 for polling unit 023 at Maryland, Koshofe local government area, Lagos, corroborated this. We did that as we were told during the training. I was shocked when I also saw the news that INEC claimed that there was no server. So now here is how they handled the results. How we handled results. An ad hoc server for PU8 Ode Ajibode Ward, Ilorin East Central Local Government, Ode Ajibode in Kwara State, explained how they handled the results as instructed. We were instructed, in line with the guidelines, to record the results from EC8A and paste at the polling unit, and also transmit the result via the electronic card reader through the e-collation option, and this was communicated to us during training. The revision was done by RAC Tech guys too. The challenge we had was bad network. However, we ended up transmitting the results via the electronic card reader. When we got to the collation center, you must send the results before submitting the card reader. When asked where the results were transmitted to, he said he believed to the central server. Not only were the results sent, figures regarding accredited voters were also transmitted. I did all this as the PO, and I also had an APO VP. Another ad hoc staffer at PU10 Olugbenla Ward, Ifetodo local government area, Osun State, gave similar account, but the presiding officer PO at a PU 008 Ward 8 Agege local government area disputed this. He said they were not directed to do anything with the results. So here's a presiding officer who's there to collate elections in a ward, saying that they were not directed to do anything with the results. So when the results are then gathered, you then go to the toilet and use it to, do your business and then flush it away or something. I'm not quite sure what level of stupidity this guy has, but it's a special kind of stupid. So hitches. Others who spoke said they experienced hitches in sending the results to the central server due to network challenges. Ayo Aderibigbe, the PO for Kwara local government area in Sokoto State, said during the training, we were told to press send button on the card reader after the voting and the counting has been done. They told us it would automatically get to them, but on election day it was not going through because of the poor network and after trying for hours, we paid one of the INEC technical officers at the local government, Raphael. He promised to help us upload this to the server when it is less congested, Mr. Aderibigbe, a COP member, said. Another core member, who was the PO at PU 022 Ward 2 of Jos South Local Government Area in Plateau State, had a similar experience. I could not sleep that night. The issue most people had was the network. The network was not responding. But Collins, a student of Obafemi Awolowo University on election duty at PU 008 at Fajuyi Hall, Ile-Ife, Osun State, said the network was okay. At exactly 1:40 p.m. that day, we sent the necessary information that should be sent via the card reader. I was shocked by INEC's denial. Conundrum of INEC laws. This correspondent saw details of INEC's budget for the 2019 election, and the spending plan shows the electoral body collected 1.47 billion naira from the federal government for servers. But a spokesperson for the commission, Festus Okoye, told this correspondent that the budget for the server was made in anticipation that President Buhari will sign the amended electoral law to allow electronic transfer of voting results. It has been reported how Mr. Buhari refused to sign the electoral bill in letters to the leadership of the National Assembly last December. The president said signing such a bill a few months to the general election would disrupt the process, a position criticized by several Nigerians. With the foregoing, the correspondent further reviewed the duties of the electoral officials as prescribed by the Electoral Act and Guide. According to the Electoral Regulation and Guideline for 2019 elections, the presiding officers are duty-bound to transmit results as prescribed in the electoral law. Section 65 of the Electoral Act specified how results should be submitted by the presiding officer, but did not provide for electronic transmission of results and data. However, a new section 65A inserted in the amended Electoral Act seeks to mandate digital storage and archiving of election results by INEC at its national headquarters. It is that amended Electoral Act that Mr. Buhari refused to sign into law. More questions than answers. In a response to INEC's denial of the server and its purported result, Mr. Abubakar submitted affidavits from 12 persons he said worked for INEC as electoral officials. The officials reportedly admitted under oath that they transmitted results electronically. A civil society group, Youth Initiative for Advocacy, Growth and Advancement, said its observers saw polling officers attempting to transmit results electronically in 65%, that is 961 out of 1,489 of the polling units observed on the presidential election day. After the postponement of the election by a week, the resident electoral commissioner in Akwa Ibom, Mike Ogini, also said the commission made provisions for a central collation server. The fact is that I am aware that at the polling unit, the same result is there. The duplicate has been given to the party agent and transmitted to the central server. Without talking to me, both of you have the results, the official said during a channel's TV program aired on February 18. The complete video, of course, can be seen, of that interview, by the way, can be seen on YouTube. So, as I said, INEC has a server. There's absolutely no question that INEC has a server. INEC has a server. INEC has a server. We know INEC has a server. The Nigerian state gave INEC billions to get a server. INEC provided receipt of getting a server. INEC trained staff on how to transmit election results from their smart card reader to their central server in Abuja, and the staff that they trained, several of them, if not all of them, you've heard the reports from or the accounts from all of them said they transmitted the result via the card reader. The card reader has a button that says send result. So after they have published the result at the ward so that the people who voted can see what their vote meant, they are then meant to then press that button send result to the central server where it is centrally collated, which is exactly what all of them said they did. So INEC has a server. INEC, the Independent National Election or Electoral Commission, has a server. There's absolutely no disputing that. So now the fact that they are now saying that they do not have the server is really now where the majority, the GBT, is. So why then would they then say that they do not have a server when they have a server? So what is in that server that they are trying to hide, and whose interest are they acting on behalf? Because INEC has a server, so I don't think there's any question about that anymore. We have proof, almost proof positive, and in fact proof positive, that INEC has a server. So now what is in that server that they are preventing the Nigerian people from interrogating? Because Atiku Abubakar will have it that he won that election by nearly 2 million votes, and the Nigerian population, based on how they rejected Buhari throughout that campaign period, he was rejected all over the southeast. You saw how they were piloting his campaign van in Lagos, and how they threw him out of the southwest, and they rejected him there as well. And the northerners, it's 50-50, so now there's no indication and there's no argument or logic that would suggest that Buhari won that election. And the information that Atiku is telling us that he has is to indicate that he won that election. And he's saying that he wants to interrogate the INEC server, which we know that INEC has, so that result, whatever is in there, can be pulled out by computer experts, and then we can have a detailed breakdown of what actually transpired in that election. INEC has a server. So now why they are denying that they don't have a server is where the question is, and Professor Yakudu has a lot of explaining to do. So now conversations in the comment section is what I am inviting. INEC, their server, and the reasons why they are denying it is what I'm wanting to talk to you guys about. So come join me in the comment section to have a conversation with me about this. But before you come join me in the comment section to have a conversation with me about this, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Click on the bell button as well, that way you're notified every time I drop a new video. Then come have a chat with me, and I'm insisting INEC has a server, so come tell me what you know differently, or if you agree, in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, meet you in the comment section, but here I say peace.